Hello, my name is KF. Today I want to demonstrate a new system which I just built using the W3.CSS framework. This framework actually enables me to do something much more simple and easier, more efficient. So we go into here, and this is the home page of this demo system. So on the top is a sliding banner, or we call it a slideshow. In fact, a slideshow is easy to do. There's a lot of modules in Drupal that helps you to do this. What's difficult is not this the slideshow itself. In most of the slideshow, what people normally do is you put text on top of the image, and that is the part that makes it difficult. So here is one of the slideshow I have built to demonstrate how good it is to use this W3.CSS framework. See, this one actually I put on this image, and then on the right hand side I put some text, so it kind of occupying on the left hand side. The image takes about 3/4 of the width, and then the remaining 1/4 of the width I dedicate to some wordings and a button. So then this is how I lay things up, and this W3.CSS framework allows me to lay things up very easily. So this is actually a very simple one. In the first page I introduced about the advantages of this W3.CSS framework. So, and if I go into this news, actually this is another slideshow I put on top, which is different from the first one. And on this slideshow you can see that I will overlay text over an image. In fact, it requires use of CSS coding, and if you are not familiar with CSS, it's difficult for you to do. But again, this W3.CSS framework allows me to do that easily. And so I put like the text on top and also a button on top, so on the other side. So this is the advantages of this W3.CSS frameworks. Allows me to do this. And below is actually a list of all the news. So you can see that I lay out the news in a nice way. The way I laid it out is also taking advantage of the W3.CSS framework. You see, on each row of news, I put it in a nice display format. On the left hand side of each row, it's the picture. It's picture that a representative picture about that piece of news. And then the right hand side is the title on top, and then below it is a short summary of what it is about. And at the below, there's also, you see this author, the date it is published, and also on the side is some small boxes, which is actually a link. Is the some people think it's a tagging, but actually you can call it a tag, but it's all actually a classification. So for example, for this one, the first one for example is classified to be something related with the concept. On the second one is classified to do something to do with both concept and how to. So this is the way that things are classified, and classification is very important to identify the news, or any content information. So this actually, the layout is, the way I laid it out is, the picture on the left, it takes about 1/3 of the entire width of the row of each row of news, and the text on the right hand side, it takes about 2/3 of the space. On the right hand side is this area is what we call a sidebar, and on sidebar I just put a simple we call it block, an image. And on this image I also use the WS3.CSS framework, and I put text on top of the image, and again it actually allows me to do that very easily. So this is the news. This is news. So I show you the slideshow. You can see, this is the one of the slideshow we saw. I put it here as a sample. The third one, using another module called the view slideshow, a different module also producing the slideshow effect. All these I just tell you is just some general information, a brief introduction of what it is about. So normally we need something, it's very simple with demonstration, with pictures, graphic, to attract the people's attention. So, and of course, not everybody is interested, but for those who are interested in something more, they want to know more about how this can be made. So they will probably go to this section. I call it the tools section. So I click into this button. So you can see we go into an entirely new area with a different color. And this is, that let people feel you have come to a totally different area. It's like a different website, totally different from the original one. So on this one, I have listed, go into more technical details about how things are made under this framework. And this is a general introduction of what is a two sessions is about. I am applying a technique called the multiple themes for different sections. So actually, the whole thing is still inside the same site, but in order to make it feel different, so I use a different color. In fact, the secret of doing that is use a different theme for different sections. And in this section, you can see it's not only difference in color, but also a difference in the layout structure. And here I have a vertical menu on the left hand side, and again another main menu on the top, and this main menu is different from the original one. So if I press on and push on this site home button, it will go back to the original one. So you can see this is the main menu of the previous one. If I go into here, it gives me a different main menu. So actually it's two very totally different sections. The only thing to connect together is this one single button. Go back to the site home. So when we're here, so you can see that I have recorded the way how to use the different feature under this framework. And the way to do is I put on the examples. You just like copy paste the code here and make things happen. And for those that normally people don't really know the way, doesn't really need to know how things work. He just copy paste the whole thing, and after copying, he just make changes of this red part, the red text, and that's all. So make things simple for them. And this is how, after learning something, how you can quickly apply your knowledge. So this is an example of doing buttons. Here is another example about color. And in this under this framework, to use the color, it's very easy. You put like this word, this tag W3-red, for example, and you get a red color. Same for all other colors. And I have a bunch of them over here, a list, and you can actually select the color that you want. And in fact, the color doesn't only applies to a piece of area. It also applies to a mouse over effect. So this we call it hover color. So when I put my mouse over this area, for example, it turns red. So you see, it's so simple, so easy to apply this special effect user under this framework. So I just need to copy paste this text, and it will give me this result. And the same thing will apply to give me color when I have the mouse over all the others. So you can just easily select what color you want. And then you can also alter the text color. So I have listed here the different color of text over different background. So on black, on gray, or on white. So it makes the job much easier when you have this listing. So this is the all about tools, in particular about this framework that you can easily pick out. I call this tools, which actually you just do copy paste. Now I also have under the menu, I have another one called how to. If I click on this how to, now watch on the left hand side. It gives me another menu. It's a different menu from the previous one. This is everything about how to. So here it's a different way I record another type of information, of knowledge content. This is the tools represents something direct from the framework. So you use them as a tool. You just do copy paste with all demonstration. You don't really need to remember them. How to is something different. I cannot identify a single tools to come up with this result. For example, the way I create slideshow, what I just showed, and it's a combination of different parts of the framework together to form this. So it does not belong to a single element under the tools. So I categorize them to be another type of knowledge content called the how to. So this is the how to way that I classify things. And this another one, and after you get familiar, you learn all this, you don't really need to remember them. Some of them actually can easily be embedded into your editor. So I just scroll it down this button, and it gives me all the options. And I'm trying to tell people how they can make up this list on their own. This list can be customized. So it's all the description, easy description how people can do this. So this is the way. This interesting thing is I can put things, different type of content under different type of this button, which by itself is a classification. And the interesting thing is that I can actually easily create different menu, this vertical menu, for different types of knowledge content. And I don't really need to manually create this menu. So whenever I create a new tools, for example, and this menu will come automatically and aligned in alphabetical order, unless some special item which I want to put on top. So for example, starting from button, it is in alphabetical order. So this is all this is about. So to sum up, is that I actually managed, using this w3.css framework, I managed to create a site which is actually a multi-site concept, a site inside concept. So it gives me a totally different appearance and different layout under different sections. And that can be applied to, for example, different departments, different teams, where they have different thoughts, different requirements, and different behaviors or different habits. And the way that that easily to come up with the different menu items and under different categories, it actually gives a very easy way to manage different type of knowledges in under complicated environments. So this is what I introduced about this whole thing today. If you're interested, let me know. We can talk more about this. And thank you very much.